Question 1. In light of recent developments in global supply chain disruptions, Isa Patel, a restaurant manager, has noticed that certain key ingredients, such as imported cheeses and specialty spices, are delayed or arriving with inconsistent quality. Despite maintaining a regular ordering schedule, her kitchen team struggles to execute the menu consistently, which leads to customer complaints. She considers implementing a tighter inventory tracking system, building relationships with local suppliers to improve reliability. Which of the following should be Is Patel's most strategic first step to ensure both consistency and availability while controlling costs? A. Develop local supplier partnership strategy and test ingredient substitutions for menu items. Increase bulk orders to stock more ingredients in advance of shortages. C. Revise the entire menu to eliminate imported items altogether. D. Train kitchen staff to handle unexpected substitutions as they occur. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. The best strategic first step is to build relationships with local suppliers and test ingredient substitutions. This balances cost control, ingredient quality, and supply consistency. Simply increasing bulk orders, option B, can result in spoilage and storage issues. Completely revising the menu, option C, is disruptive and premature without first exploring substitutions. Training staff, option D, is important, but reactive, not strategic. According to Serve Success guidelines and hack compliant practices, consistency in sourcing and pre-validated substitutions ensures sustainable operations. Question 2. By evaluating staffing data, Mr. Blake realizes that labor costs consistently exceed 35% of total sales, especially on weekdays. His team appears busy, but sales don't match. After observing service shifts, he notes several inefficiencies, including idle time during slow periods, duplication of roles, and underutilization of POS reporting for forecasting. What is the most effective corrective action to bring labor costs in line without reducing staff morale? A. Reduce team size immediately and assign additional responsibilities to remaining staff. B. Use POS data to forecast customer flow and schedule shifts accordingly. C. Cross-train employees so they can cover multiple roles on any given day. D. Implement tip pooling strategy to equalize earnings among staff. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Using POS data to forecast labor needs ensures a data-driven, efficient scheduling process and avoids arbitrary cuts that impact morale. Cross-training, option C, is a great supportive strategy, but doesn't address overstaffing. Reducing team size without strategy, option A, is risky and affects service quality. Tip pooling, option D, may balance earnings, but doesn't directly address excess labor costs. Accord. Serve Success cost control standards. Labor scheduling based on demand is foundational tool for financial sustainability. Question 3. During the process of an unannounced health inspection, the inspector observes that thawing fish is being left in a prep sink at room temperature. The sous chef explains that it will be cooked soon and this is how they always do it. The inspector issues a violation notice citing a critical breach of safety standards. What is the most significant food safety hazard present in this situation? A. Chemical contamination from the sink area. B. Time temperature abuse leading to bacterial growth. C. Cross-contact with allergens in the sink. D. Poor labeling of thawed fish. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Thawing fish at room temperature exposes it to time temperature abuse, which allows pathogenic bacteria e.g. Salmonella, Listeria, to grow rapidly. According to FDA Food Code and ServSafe guidelines, food must be thawed safely under refrigeration 40 or lower in cold running water, in microwave if cooked immediately or as part of the cooking process. A chemical contamination may contact C and labeling D may be relevant risks but are not the immediate critical violation in this context. Question 4. From a practical standpoint, is Lena trains her service staff on upselling techniques to increase check averages? During a pre-shift meeting, she instructs servers to always recommend the most expensive item in each category and push desserts at every table regardless of the guest's interest or cues. What is the most likely consequence of this approach? A. High revenue and increased guest satisfaction. B. Decreased guest trust and potentially low return visits. C. Better product knowledge among the service team. D. Increased staff tips due to higher bills. Answer. Correct answer B. Explanation. Pushing items without regard for guest cues can lead to perceived manipulation, damage trust, and lower return rates. According to hospitality service ethics and customer relationship management principles, upselling should be suggestive, not aggressive, and tailored to guest preferences. Although higher bills D may result, long-term revenue may decline. Training C helps but isn't the issue here. According to ERM modules, guest-centric service builds loyalty and lifetime value, which aggressive tactics undermine. Question 5. Throughout the course of a busy Friday evening, Chef Roberto notices that multiple entree orders are being delayed due to bottlenecks at the sauté station. Each cook is working independently and communication is minimal. Food is returned undercooked or cold due to poor timing. As the executive chef, he decides to reevaluate his kitchen's workflow. Which solution aligns best with effective kitchen operations and station management principles? A. Assign kitchen expediter to coordinate timing and communication. B. Reduce the number of dishes that use the sauté station. C. Train each cook to prepare all items to avoid specialization. D. Invest in additional sauté equipment to increase production. Answer. Correct answer A. Explanation. Appointing a kitchen expediter enhances timing, consistency, and communication, crucial for smooth line operations. According to kitchen brigade system principles, expediter roles ensure that all stations are aligned, especially under pressure, reducing menu items. B is a longer-term menu engineering solution. Cross-training C may decrease efficiency in high-volume environments. Adding equipment D without solving coordination issues is ineffective. Preserve success kitchen operations. Workflow coordination is essential for quality and speed. Question 6. Under the assumption that a restaurant employs minors for hostess and dishwashing roles, Tanaka, the general manager, allows a 16-year-old employee to occasionally help in the kitchen during rush hours by operating the commercial slicer to prep vegetables. Which of the following best describes the legal issue in this scenario? A. It is permissible if the slicer use is supervised by an adult. B. It is a violation of federal child labor laws regarding hazardous equipment. C. It is allowed if the minor works fewer than 20 hours per week. D. There is no issue since the employee has completed food safety training. Answer. Correct answer B. Explanation. According to the U.S. Department of Labor's FLSA, minors under 18 are prohibited from operating hazardous equipment, including power-driven meat slicers. Supervision A or fewer hours. C does not change this restriction. Food safety training D is irrelevant to legal work restrictions. The restaurant is liable for violations and penalties if this practice continues. Compliance with child labor laws is a critical component of HR and regulatory management in food service. Question 7. Considering the evidence, a guest informs their server that they have a severe gluten allergy. The server recommends a dish labeled gluten-free, but the dish contains soy sauce that was not specified on the menu. The guest experiences an allergic reaction and files complaint. Which best describes the restaurant's liability in this case? A. There is no liability if the server believed the item was gluten-free. B. The restaurant is liable due to failure in accurate allergen disclosure. C. Liability depends on whether a guest signed an allergen waiver. D. No liability if the item was marked gluten-free on the menu. Answer. Correct answer B. Explanation. The restaurant is liable under consumer protection and food safety laws for misrepresenting allergens. According to the FDA's Food Allergen Labeling and Consumer Protection Act, FALCA, and ServSafe Allergen Management, any item advertised as a gluten-free must meet strict standards, and failure to disclose ingredients such as wheat-based soy sauce is breach of duty of care. Verbal assurances or waivers do not exempt liability in such cases. Question 8. While examining post-shift reviews, Ortega notices that a guest left negative feedback stating, "We waited 15 minutes before anyone greeted us. Then the server seemed annoyed when we asked questions." She speaks with the server, who says the table "It didn't seem like big spenders, so they prioritized other guests." What should Ortega emphasize in addressing this behavior? All guests should receive equal attention and prompt service. B. Staff may prioritize higher spending guests during peak hours. C. Customers should be more patient during busy times. D. It is acceptable to delay greeting if table looks uninterested. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Hospitality ethics and service excellence demand that every guest is treated with respect and prompt attention. Profiling guests based on perceived spending (BD) violates fair service standards and damages the brand. Telling customers to be patient (C) shifts blame. According to serve success and industry norms, first impressions form within seconds and poor service impacts loyalty and reviews. Bias-based service, discriminatory and operationally harmful. Question 9. The evolution of digital ordering has led Mr. Parker, a restaurant manager, to integrate multiple third-party delivery apps. However, he finds discrepancies between in-house and app-reported sales, delayed payments, and negative reviews due to delivery delays. Although the kitchen is prompt, which approach would best resolve the operational and reputational impact? A. Remove all third-party platforms and focus on dine-in service. B. Invest in an integrated POS system that syncs with delivery apps. C. Hire dedicated staff to manage orders from third-party apps. D. Offer compensation to customers with delayed orders. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Integrated POS systems reduce errors by syncing orders, payments, and tracking across platforms. It also allows performance monitoring of third-party delivery systems. Removing apps cuts revenue streams. Hiring more staff. C. Addresses symptoms, not the core system problem. Compensation. D. Is reactive and costly. According to modern restaurant tech best practices, integration improves data accuracy, customer satisfaction. Question 10. To better understand his restaurant's food cost issues, Mr. Mohammed audits daily kitchen waste and finds that prepped vegetables are often discarded at the end of day. He also finds overproduction of sides and garnishes that aren't used. Staff say it's safer to overprep, just in case. Which strategy would most effectively reduce waste while ensuring readiness? A. Use sales forecasting to guide daily prep quantities. B. Require staff to reuse leftover items the next day. C. Offer smaller portions to reduce leftovers. D. Allow staff to take leftovers home. Answer. Correct answer. Explanation. Sales forecasting allows prep levels to be adjusted to actual demand, reducing overproduction. It is a proactive and data-driven method endorsed by Serve Success waste management standards. Reusing leftovers. B. Raises safety issues. Reducing portion size. C. May affect guest satisfaction. Giving leftovers to staff. D. Does not address source waste. Waste reduction must be planned, measured, and adjusted, not dealt with after it occurs. Question 11. Demonstrated by a recent drop in profitability is Callahan, the general manager of a casual dining restaurant, observes that despite increasing menu prices to counter rising food costs, overall revenue has declined. Regular customers have started ordering less expensive items or skipping add-ons. She is considering whether the current pricing strategy aligns with customer perception and value. What should Callahan do to address the decline while maintaining profitability? A. Offer more combo deals to low perceived cost and increase check averages. B. Increase prices across the board to match cost inflation. C. Add high margin items and train staff to promote them. D. Revert to old prices to regain customer trust. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Adding high-margin items like appetizers or drinks and training staff to promote them strategically improves profitability without deterring customers. Menu engineering principles from Serve Success recommend optimizing profitability through contribution margin-focused design rather than blanket price hikes. Option A can work short-term, but B risks customer loss. Reverting prices. D ignores actual cost structure and is unsustainable. Question 12. Among the various leadership challenges in a restaurant, Mr. Dorsey notices that conflicts between line cooks and service staff are escalating during peak hours, leading to errors and tension. He has tried giving verbal warnings and holding short meetings, but nothing has improved. Some staff have even requested transfers to other shifts. What should Mr. Dorsey do to improve collaboration and reduce conflict in the long term? A. Arrange joint team-building workshops and cross-departmental communication training. B. Increase kitchen supervision during peak hours to control staff behavior. C. Switch problematic staff to off-peak hours to reduce interaction. D. Enforce stricter penalties for conflicts to discourage negative behavior. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. According to Serve Success leadership training and team dynamics theory, proactive team building activities and communication skills development reduce cross-departmental conflict and improve morale. Supervision. B. Manages symptoms, not causes. Shifting staff. C. May alienate valuable team members. Penalties. D. Without positive culture change, fail to create sustainable harmony. Question 13. By comparing inventory records and sales data is seeing suspects that excessive food costs may be due to uncontrolled portioning. The executive chef claims that each dish follows the standardized recipe. However, servers often report inconsistencies in portion size, depending on who is plating. Which of the following is the most effective next step to validate and resolve this issue? A. Install cameras to monitor kitchen staff for compliance. B. Weigh portions during random kitchen audits. C. Retrain kitchen staff on recipe standards. D. Reduce recipe portions to improve margins. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Conducting random audits using portion control. Scales offers objective evidence and reveals inconsistencies without confrontation. According to ServSafe and HACK guidelines, regular verification is key to food cost control. Surveillance A. May breach trust. Training C. May follow audits but isn't effective without proof. Reducing portions D. Without assessing impact risks guest dissatisfaction. Question 14. Focusing specifically on digital loyalty trends, Mr. Alvarez integrates a new app-based loyalty program in his fast casual restaurant offering, a free entree after 10 purchases. Despite initial excitement, participation remains low after 3 months with minimal customer feedback and stagnant enrollment. What is the most likely reason for the program's failure and what should be improved? A. The reward isn't attractive enough to justify the effort. B. Customers prefer paper punch cards over digital options. C. The program lacks proper signage and staff promotion. D. Digital programs tend to be unpopular across demographics. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Even the best designed loyalty programs fail without adequate promotion and visibility. According to CRM and loyalty strategy guidelines in the hospitality industry, successful programs rely on staff training, visible promotion, and consistent reminders at point of sale. While the reward date may play a role if customers are unaware, it's irrelevant. Paper preference B is outdated. Claiming demographic D generalizes inaccurately. Question 15. The underlying principle of responsible alcohol service is to protect both guests and the business. During a Friday night shift, Mr. Lopez, a bartender, notices a guest slurring speech and staggering. Despite this, a manager insists on just one more to please the VIP. What is the bartender's best course of action? A. Serve the drink but monitor the guest closely afterward. B. Refuse service and notify security or supervisor. C. Serve water and hope the guest declines alcohol. D. Allow the manager to take over and decide. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Responsible alcohol service laws, including dram shop laws, in many jurisdictions hold both bartenders and establishments liable for over-serving. Mr. Lopez must refuse service and escalate appropriately, even if a manager disagrees. Monitoring A or serving water C is insufficient. Deferring to the manager D shifts legal risk unfairly and may not hold in court. Question 16. During the process of monthly performance reviews, Zhang observes inconsistent ticket times during dinner shifts. While some tables receive food in under 20 minutes, others wait over 40 minutes. The kitchen claims they're understaffed, while servers blame disorganized order timing. What process change is most likely to improve overall operational efficiency? A. Introduce kitchen display system (KDS) to streamline communication. B. Mandate that servers hand deliver each ticket to the kitchen. C. Limit seating during peak hours to reduce kitchen load. D. Rotate menu items to even out station demands. Answer. Correct answer. Explanation. Implementing a kitchen display system KDS ensures real-time visibility and order prioritization, reducing errors and improving communication. This aligns with restaurant technology efficiency standards. Manual delivery B is outdated. Limiting seating C reduces revenue unnecessarily. Menu rotation D is complex and doesn't directly address timing variability. Question 17. Through careful analysis of guest satisfaction surveys, Mr. Green realizes that many complaints stem from poor communication, misunderstood orders, unclear wait times, and staff confusion. While the food quality is praised, service scores are declining. What is the most sustainable way to improve communication across the team? A. Install a headset system to improve real-time interaction. B. Hold daily shift meetings to set clear expectations and priorities. C. Replace low-performing staff with experienced hires. D. Display communication tips in staff areas. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. According to Serve Success best practices, pre-shift huddles or daily meetings provide a consistent forum for clarifying expectations, reinforcing procedures, and proactively addressing issues. While technology can help, cultural habits must change first. Replacing staff. C. May not address system issues. Passive signage. D. Lacks engagement. Question 18. With the advent of new fire safety codes, a fire marshal visits Mr. Russo's restaurant and finds several violations: blocked exits, overloaded extension cords, and expired fire extinguishers. The manager says the equipment is expensive to replace and hasn't updated procedures in years. What should be Mr. Russo's immediate priority? A. Postpone changes and prepare for the next inspection. B. Replace expired safety equipment and clear all blocked exits. C. File temporary exemption request from the local fire department. D. Ask staff to be more cautious until updates are made. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. According to OSHA, NFPA, and local fire code regulations, restaurants must maintain clear egress routes and functional safety equipment at all times. Failure to do so risks citations, insurance, nullification, and injury liability. Waiting, filing exemptions. C. Or relying on caution. D. Is non-compliant and dangerous. Question 19. The development of a new brunch menu at Is Ramos's Bistro includes dishes that are time-consuming to prepare but appear popular with customers. She observes, however, that despite high sales, the food cost and labor effort are cutting into profit margins. What should Is Ramos do next to maximize menu performance? A. Replace popular dishes with faster, low-cost alternatives. B. Recalculate pricing based on actual preparation costs and time. C. Limit the menu to reduce complexity and operational burden. D. Introduce daily specials to divert attention from high-cost items. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Menu engineering involves calculating contribution margins, not just popularity. Per Serve Success financial guidelines, pricing must reflect labor and food costs, while reducing complexity. C. Or offering specials. D. May help later. Immediate profitability comes from revising pricing based on real costs. Removing popular dishes may damage guest loyalty. Question 20. The implications of a viral negative review accusing the restaurant of discrimination have spread quickly online. Is Thomas, the GM, verifies the complaint has merit. While legal counsel is consulted, the community demands a response. She must act immediately to protect the brand's integrity. Weighs the most appropriate first action. Issue public apology, acknowledging the incident and outlining next steps. B. Disable online reviews and restrict comments temporarily. C. Avoid commenting publicly until legal counsel gives clearance. D. Repost positive reviews to drown out the negativity. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Hospitality public relations protocol, especially in the digital age, demands a transparent, sincere, and prompt apology when wrongdoing is verified. This is part of brand integrity and crisis management. Suppressing reviews. B. D. Or avoiding response. C. Damages public trust and suggests guilt. Acknowledgement paired with corrective plans is both ethical and strategic. Question 21. When faced with a scenario where a new sous chef proposes thawing large quantities of frozen chicken overnight on the kitchen counter to meet high demand, Is Green, the restaurant manager, questions the safety of this practice. What is the best course of action for Is Green to ensure food safety in compliance with hack principles? A. Approve thawing on the counter if the chicken is cooked within 2 hours. B. Require thawing only under refrigeration or in approved methods such as cold water or microwave. C. Thaw chicken in warm water to speed up preparation. D. Allow thawing on the counter as long as it is covered. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. According to FDA food code and guidelines, thawing raw chicken at room temperature is a critical violation because it allows bacterial growth. Approved methods include thawing under refrigeration at equals 40 undec, submerged in cold running water, or microwaving if cooked immediately. Thawing on the counter or in warm water (CD) leads to time temperature abuse, increasing foodborne illness risk. Question 22. During a busy weekend shift, Mr. Thompson observes that a newly hired server is not adhering to proper upselling techniques and often forgets to suggestively sell beverages or desserts. Despite informal reminders, there has been little improvement. What is the most effective approach to address this situation? A. Assign the server to non-customer facing duties until retrained. B. Schedule a formal training session with role-playing and feedback. C. Replace the server with a more experienced employee immediately. D. Provide the server with written upselling guidelines and monitor remotely. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Formal interactive training with role-playing helps develop practical skills and increases confidence. According to Serve Success HR training standards, consistent coaching and feedback improve employee performance sustainably. Assigning non-customer roles A. Reduces learning opportunities. Replacement C. Ignores potential development. Passive written instructions D. Often fail without engagement. Question 23. Given the circumstances of fluctuating customer counts, Davis notices that cooks frequently overportion protein servings, causing food cost overruns. Attempts to verbally remind staff have not reduced waste. What system should Davis implement to control portions effectively? A. Use pre-portion, measured scoops or scales for plating proteins. B. Train staff to eyeball portions and compare to plate appearance standards. C. Reduce menu portion sizes and inform guests upfront. D. Allow servers to request additional protein if customers are still hungry. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Using pre-portioned tools or digital scales provides objective measurement to ensure consistency and control food costs. According to food cost management best practices from Serve Success, tools reduce variability and waste. Eyeballing B is subjective. Reducing portions C can harm guest satisfaction. Allowing extra portions D undermines cost control efforts. Question 24. In a modern context of rising food allergies, Eastern UN receives a call from a guest inquiring whether the restaurant's signature sauce contains nuts. The menu lacks detailed allergen information. What should Eastern UN advise to protect both the guest and the restaurant? A. Inform the guest that the sauce is safe based on staff knowledge. B. Suggest the guest avoid the sauce due to lack of written allergen info. C. Check ingredient lists and confirm with the chef before advising. D. Offer to substitute the sauce with nut-free alternative without checking. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Accurate, verified information is critical to prevent allergic reactions and potential legal issues. According to FDA food allergen labeling requirements and Serve Safe Allergen Management, confirming ingredients with the kitchen is mandatory. Assumptions A. Or uninformed substitutions D. Risk liability. Advising avoidance B. Is cautious but may be unnecessary if verified safe. Question 25. As illustrated by recent incidents in the industry, Collins is reviewing her restaurant's risk management plan and notices gaps in employee training for emergency evacuation. What should be the immediate focus to enhance staff preparedness? A. Conduct mandatory quarterly emergency drills and document participation. B. Post-evacuation maps and expect staff to read them independently. C. Provide emergency response info only to management. D. Rely on verbal instructions during emergencies. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Regular documented drills are critical per OSHA and NFPA standards to ensure staff understand evacuation procedures. Passive posting B. Or selective training C. is ineffective. Verbal instructions D. During emergencies are often too late. Drills build muscle memory, reduce confusion, and protect lives and property. Question 26. With the growing trend in contactless payments, Mr. Edwards installs new NFC-enabled POS terminals but notices frequent transaction failures and guest frustration. What should Mr. Edwards do to ensure smooth technology adoption? A. Provide staff with detailed troubleshooting guides and guest FAQs. B. Immediately switch back to manual cash payments. C. Train staff on troubleshooting and perform regular equipment maintenance. D. Disable contactless payments to avoid confusion. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Successful tech adoption requires staff training and preventive maintenance per industry best practices. Staff must confidently handle common issues, reducing guest friction. Guides alone may be insufficient without hands-on training. Reverting to manual payments, B, or disabling features, D, ignores future trends and convenience. Question 27. From multiple perspectives, Mr. Garcia notices complaints about inconsistent server attentiveness during peak dining times. Some guests feel neglected while others receive rapid, detailed service. Which strategy would most improve consistent service? They implement a rotation system ensuring servers cycle evenly through tables. B. Assign servers only to VIP tables during peak hours. C. Allow servers to choose preferred tables based on familiarity. D. Limit the number of tables per server without adjusting staffing. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. A rotation system balances workload and promotes equitable service. According to Serve Success customer service standards, balanced distribution reduces guest dissatisfaction. VIP favoritism. B. And server preference. C. Create inequity. Simply limiting tables. D. Without staffing adjustments can reduce revenue and overburden others. Question 20. In terms of managing cash flow, is Bailey notes irregularities between daily sales reports and bank deposits. She suspects errors or potential theft. What is the most effective internal control measure? A. Have the same employee handle sales reporting and banking. B. Introduce segregation of duties and reconcile daily sales with deposits. C. Conduct surprise cash counts weekly. D. Trust employee honesty but increase supervision. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Segregation of duties prevents fraud by dividing responsibilities among employees, and daily reconciliation detects discrepancies early. According to financial controls recommended by Serve Success, this reduces risk of theft or errors. Having one employee handle all. A. Increases risk. Surprise counts. C. Help but aren't complete solution. Trust without controls. D. Is inadequate. Question 29. A common misconception about waste reduction is that eliminating all leftover food is the only way to save costs. Mr. Kim has noticed his staff throws away partially used sauces and garnishes at shift end to avoid food safety issues. What balanced approach should Mr. Kim implement? A. Donate safe leftover food to local shelters according to health regulations. B. Encourage staff to reuse leftover sauces next day for cost saving. C. Strictly dispose of all leftovers at the end of each shift. D. Increase portion sizes to reduce leftovers. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Donating safe leftover food following local health and food safety regulations is a sustainable practice that reduces waste and benefits the community. Reusing leftovers. B. Can cause food safety violations. Disposing of all leftovers. C. Wastes resources. Increasing portions. D. Contradicts waste reduction goals. Donation programs must comply with FDO's food recovery hierarchy. Question 30. In response to unpredictable customer flow, Is Jenkins wants to optimize labor scheduling. Past fixed schedules have resulted in overstaffing during slow periods and understaffing during peaks. Which scheduling method should she implement for best results? A. Use historical sales data and predictive analytics to create flexible schedules. B. Maintain fixed shifts but allow staff to swap shifts as needed. C. Schedule maximum staff for all shifts to avoid understaffing. D. Schedule minimal staff to cut labor costs. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Leveraging historical data and predictive analytics enables demand-driven scheduling, improving labor cost control and service quality. This method is aligned with Serve Success operational efficiency standards. Fixed shifts. B. Lack adaptability. Maximum staffing. C. Inflates costs unnecessarily. Minimal staffing. D. Risks poor service and employee burnout.